Great. So meeting starts at 7:10. We're starting a little behind today. My fault. Okay. Agenda. Everyone should have it in their email. Any changes, comments, corrections? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve. And we get to actually do regular voting today. We're not thumbs upping, thumbs down today. Take a motion to approve the agenda. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anyone? God, I don't even know how to vote anymore. Anyone? What's the word I'm looking for? Objecting. Thank you. My gosh, my brain's not in it today. Anyone objecting, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Okay, good. Motion carries. Thank God. Oof. Minutes. You all should have gotten a copy of the minutes. If there's no changes, edits, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes for July 24th. Is that really the last time? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ken. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Public comments. Any public comments submitted? Communications team?
No.
Okay. My updates, I don't really have. It's been a while since we had our meeting. A couple of things that have come up that we need to talk about in the course of the day today is sign location, which I think, Ron, you're meeting with John tomorrow on that. Okay. So the issue there is that the current, the conduits, the wiring for the sign, the electrical sign is on the opposite side of the entrance road than it is today. So right now, if you drive into the middle school, you have the little sign on the right-hand side. Right now, all electrical is on the left-hand side. I was actually driving. I drove through the parking lot. Very nice parking lot, by the way. Where's Chris? Oh, there. Very nice parking lot, by the way. The sign where it is today, you can see it going east or going west. I'm saying, like, there was some concern that if you're driving east to west, you wouldn't see the sign, but the sign's like right there.
It pops up, and you only can see it for a fraction of a second. It seems to me. You come over that hill.
Yeah.
You can see it, but it's one of the.
It's one of those
I don't know if you
things.
can read it.
But now there's a stop sign there, so you
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
and you can see the sign.
Yeah, I feel like the
Yeah,
other
like
side
driving by it.
there's too much of a, like, it dips down, and putting it on the other side, I don't know.
Well, the concern, I have a couple of concerns. One is that's technically not school property. It belongs to the town. It's part of the parcel, but
It's part of the parcel that we captured in our project description.
right. But does that include the Little League fields? Little League fields is now part of the parcel?
That whole parcel from Pier Street all the way up to the demarcation on the far side of the baseball field.
So from the state perspective, we could put it on there. But from the town's perspective, I don't know if they would object to it because we're like encroaching on Little League territory. That and visibility. I'm not sure if there'd be a visibility issue with the sign being there and people coming out. And then the third concern I had was middle schoolers are not always the brightest, and if they see something that they can throw something at, they may start throwing something at it.
Did you see the video that I sent you? You probably didn't.
No.
I sent this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I haven't checked any emails this afternoon.
And it's got Lexan cover on it.
That's what I was wondering.
So,
Oh.
so you can take they were showing a baseball bat, and the guy was beating it with the baseball.
Oh, that's
So-
good to know.
So a baseball or a rock with the mower, which was one of your concerns.
Yeah, won't impact it.
That won't make a difference.
Oh, good. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So, so you're gonna have a meeting with John tomorrow, so you guys can figure out what the best location for that is. If we need to move it, I think we can. Just you're gonna have to like pipe into existing conduits for it, right?
I was gonna say, from a construction standpoint,
from a construction standpoint, there's a handhole on the east side of the driveway where you're in question on the west side, which would be the Little League side. So we crossed them underneath from the east side to the west. There's a handhole right there. We can intercept it and bring it up there if we need to.
Okay, all right, so it's workable if we have to.
Yes.
I think the ice cream social happened since the last meeting, or was that before the last meeting?
Yeah, it was after.
Right before?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It was August 1st. It was
Oh, it was
after the
after.
last meeting, yeah.
That was good. We got a good turnout there. Guys liked it. It was on a hot day.
Yeah, they were very appreciative of it, and we were too. We thank you very much.
Other than that, I don't really have any updates besides what we're going to be talking about today anyway, so I will let the conversation flow naturally for that. Communications report?
I think the main thing for us right now is we've started talking about the last beam ceremony, and Chris had some great ideas that he shared with us. You know, we had an initial planning session, and then we were able to meet with Chris, and really there was a lot of wonderful things shared with us. There wasn't a whole lot of planning that we needed to do because he had some good ideas. So one of the things that we're talking about right now is having a couple beams delivered to the circle where the buses used to go through, or still go through now, and having the students sign, students, teachers, staff sign the beams for a designated period of time. And I think we're looking at a couple days, like 9 to 9/11, something like that. So we need to coordinate with Anne. So I sent a note to, the administration. Just need to make sure that she's comfortable with those days. I just haven't heard back yet. So we'll coordinate that, and then targeting a ceremony towards the end of September.
Okay.
So it'll be installed. The intent is that they're signed, and then on the weekend or some off time, the beams will actually be installed into the building, and we'll have the ceremony after that, so we don't have steel moving around and people in the way.
It would be good to coordinate that. So we have to have a joint meeting with the Board of Ed around that timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be good if we coordinated that like the same day so that we
The
all would have their
ceremony or
time.
the signing?
Both. Oh, no, the ceremony.
Will be later in the month.
Yeah, end of September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ceremony with the Board of Ed joint meeting.
I'll make sure we note that.
From Joe Colada's notes, he's looking at the joint meeting for approval of the FF&E documents on 9/25.
And was that around the time you were
Potential.
thinking
That our proposed
For the
date was
ceremony?
September 25th.
for ceremony?
So
Yeah, I was trying to dovetail it with the committee meeting that day anyways. And just so you guys are aware, that steel is part of sequence number 25. Right now we're erecting in 17 and 18. I'm trying to get those beams here sooner, give you a little more time, but in light of your request to get them on the inside of the fence line due to potential for vandalism, I still do want to coordinate that small window of time to have them either in the grass area outside the office or within the circle. We're going to put them on sawhorses for you so they're off of the ground too, so that the kids don't have to bend down and nobody has to bend down. So
Is it going to be like they're not something they can jump off of and like use as a jump
no
gym,
way,
right?
no way.
Okay. Again, middle schoolers.
I would hope that the staff would help police that.
Well, I'm just thinking like after
I'll be
hours.
standing.
I'm just saying like after hours.
That's why I only want it to be about 2.5 days that they're sitting there.
Okay. The 25th is not a normal meeting date. And our next meeting is the 18th of September. We actually have 3 weeks out. And then the 25th, we don't have a meeting. So it'll be a special meeting.
So, it would be the ceremony, so if we're going to coordinate it with the Board of Ed meeting,
Yeah. We'll do it right after.
yeah.
I believe the FF&E, he wants to do a joint meeting as well because the board has to approve.
I think that's what this is for.
So is that,
Right,
that may
it's-
be why he said the 25th, that may have been a board day. I don't know.
Oh, the Board of Ed meeting's on the 10th.
Oh, I don't know, he was talking about it with Enza.
Who's
Oh,
he?
Enza's out of town, but she's getting married, that was part of it.
She returns on the 25th.
That's why, that's it.
Okay, I get you. Okay, so we're gonna target the 25th. When can we make that like we're definitely doing, like what has to happen before we can put that date in the works?
We need to confirm with Anne.
But
Yeah.
also, what do you need on your end before you feel comfortable with that date?
I had indicated in my email that any date after the 25th, 20th, any date after there,
You're
you're
comfortable
clear.
with?
You're clear to do anything you want.
Okay.
So when the communications committee met, we kind of thought of this more, and because we're not watching the final beam go up, that we were going to kind of mark the completion of steel as like before we did the groundbreaking, it's kind of like a moment in time, like we completed the steel and do that kind of ceremony rather than a beam raising, because no one's going to be watching the beam get raised. That's going to be done during normal work hours for these guys, and we can't be present.
Can we take a video of it though?
Like, you won't see it.
Can we show, like, is there any way you can take a video, or can we see if someone can take a video of it being raised?
Yeah, I can fly the drone. I'll take some pictures. I'll do a video of it going
Yeah.
into place, something like that, if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be great. That we
Whe-
can throw it on
whether-
social saying, look at here's your beam that everyone's saying.
That's weather permitting, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But the actual ceremony and stuff for us,
It'll be after the beam's
it'll be
already on
after
there.
the beam's already on there. It will be visible, so you can see it, but
Yeah, and I was telling the ladies that we could go on site. You can be right under it if you want.
Oh,
Maybe put a banner. We can C-clamp a banner to it or something if you want.
where is the beam gonna go?
They're going to be if you're walking into the main entrance, at the wall that forms the west side of that entrance area and then comes to the south and goes west.
Yeah.
It's the two beams up in the corner of that.
Oh,
I picked the two right out in front because they'll be visible the longest.
nice. I
Like
like
I
that.
said, we had some great ideas.
All right. Okay, so you're gonna coordinate, and then for the dates that you're gonna put the beams out in the circle, are those firm dates? Or are those still dates that we have to, like, assuming Ann approves it, are those still dates that you need to wait for a supplier to tell you something first?
I feel comfortable saying that they can be there on the 9th.
Okay.
I'm seeing if I can get them there sooner and see what we can do. I feel right about, obviously, weather permitting, that they'll be put in place somewhere between I'd say the 14th and the 16th,
Yeah.
somewhere in that
I don't
ballpark.
I'm not sure if you should rush to do it sooner because they're chaotic right now in the schools.
That's why we picked the 9th.
Yeah. And there's open house that week too. Is that the middle school's open
I
house?
think it's the 5th.
That Thursday is our open house, like next Thursday, week.
a week from tomorrow.
So it would be the following week that the
That'd be
beams are
the-
there.
That would be the 9th.
Open house is the 5th
Here?
at the middle school.
Here in the middle school.
Oh, this is high school. Okay, middle school. All right, the 5th. All right, so we don't have to worry about interfering with that then. Okay. Very good.
Just curious, sorry, who,
No.
who signed the beam? Is it just open to all the current middle school students?
So what we were talking about is having the whole middle school sign the beam. I also sent a note to, WIS and ECS, Ramsey and Lucille, to see if they wanted to coordinate walking their students over, since they're going to be using the school, but we'd focus on CMS primarily.
What about like Board of Ed and anyone else like that, or is it just for kids?
We'll send out the communication to them. Obviously well, maybe not obviously, but we want to sign it too. So we'll want to make sure that we have an opportunity to get over there. But really the focus was making sure, knowing when they were going to be on site and coordinating with Anne, and making sure that that's all settled first. And then we'll work on the communications around that.
Okay. All right. Any other comms
No, I think
updates?
that's it.
I'd just add one more thing. It doesn't have to just be signing. I've seen murals go on them as well. Stuff like that if you want to draw on them or color them some way. They're coming in white.
Oh, the beams are white?
Yeah, the two of them will be white.
So like Sharpies? Are we thinking Sharpies?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Okay. What's next? Design subcommittee? Design subcommittee.
I have nothing.
We do have the proposal that Joe sent for the graphics. Do you want to cover that here or under the design section?
We'll cover it when we do all of these.
Okay. FF&E.
We're moving right along. Right now, we seem to be in budget. There's still a couple more details we're still working out. The teachers have requested a double pedestal desk for their classrooms that we're trying to find one that's reasonably priced so that we remain in budget. Most of the items are going through state contracts. There's some items that are not under state contracts, but it's minimal. We're trying to solidify the numbers so that we don't have to carry that large of a contingency when we go through this process. It's moving along.
When do you think you'll be able to provide the final package to us?
And that is a Joe Culata answer.
Joe Colada answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
because
said, when I spoke to him, he said he had everything but the desk, the teacher's desk, pretty much ironed out.
Yeah, as far as the remaining item that
Yeah.
still has to be found
Not
and fit
including the
into.
electricals, not including the
Yeah.
technology.
The technology is a different issue.
Yeah, yeah,
But we're coming along.
Okay.
So
we-
Shannon did send some questions.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if what level of detail we're gonna get into today on FF&E if Joe's out. Does Joe have the full plan? Because I don't,
He doesn't have a full plan yet. He only has, he has everything up through like the tables, the desks for the teachers.
so is it worth me going through the questions or?
Probably
Well-
the best thing at this point I recommend is send their questions to Joe
Okay.
electronically, and this way he can respond electronically.
Okay.
And since he's not here, I don't want to guess or
Yeah, that's what I'm
assume
asking.
something.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
he answers
Okay.
it to the best of his ability, and then everybody can get the answers at the same time.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll forward those along.
Okay, and then timeline, I know Joe's not here, maybe Chris, you can answer the timeline for that stuff. I thought we had to have this all like finalized by the end of September, is that right?
And that's
That's what they.
that's the plan still. That 25th is our critical date to close that up, because then afterwards, I believe, once you have the Board of Ed and School Building Committee approval, then it's got to go to PCR.
It goes to goes to plan review with the state. That could be a few weeks before they get through all the details. Usually FF&E has a lot of scrutiny because of all the moving parts that are involved.
Yeah.
After that, putting things out to bid, and then generally speaking, as long as we get the opportunity to bid it before the holiday season hits, we should be able to issue paperwork, purchase orders and whatnot, and have plenty of time to catch not only the procurement cycle, but typically get in before the first of the year price increases occur.
So what about the technology part of it? Is that a separate cycle than this?
The state has been requesting that we, either do it a phase, something A and B, or, phase X and Y, to try to keep those issues separated.
But we still want to do it before the end of the year to lock in cost?
Yeah,
That's what we're all trying to
sooner
do,
is-
to lock
Sooner
it
is
in.
definitely better, try to lock in those costs before any increases. If things are available, like the switches and servers usually are a state contract opportunity. Not all brands are there, but we see that done through state contract, and those numbers are a little bit more predictable, and if there are price increases, they're already scheduled in the contract, so you can keep an eye on that. But yes, sooner is better. We'll have plenty of time to procure, especially on the technology side. We want to get the network up and running, because there are several building systems that rely on the computer
Oh.
network, like building management system and things like that. So the sooner we can get those things installed, the better it will be to support Newfield and their trades to get the systems actually running and debugged before we have to occupy.
Technology is the hub for all the schools, they get a black.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the middle school is the brain for the district as far as the network, so that's a whole complication of
So
itself.
that whole server part is part of the technology package.
So,
Okay.
just, sorry, I was pulling up meeting times. What did you say was drop dead date for the decision on FF&E? Is it end of September for us?
So 9/20.
The approval date, I'm looking at Joe's notes, Joe Colada's notes. He's looking to have the joint Building Committee Board of Ed approval meeting on September 25th.
So we would like to
So-
see the initial, like, 9/18 then, right? Before
Yeah.
we go to the Board of Ed.
Probably even sooner, if there's a way to look at some of the content sooner. I mean, we still have, I was going to submit the questions, but, questions about, like, the lactation room, is there a refrigerator, and, like, are we accounting for refrigerators and things like that in some of those spaces? Shannon's looking at,
I'd refer you back to your ed specs, because that's what Perkins Eastman is going to be using to scope the FF&E.
okay. And then I'll just ask the questions now. So in the OT PT room, it doesn't look like there's a teacher desk. Is there going to be space for them to put their personal items? Things like, will AEDs be purchased as part of the furniture or technology? Do we know where they're going to be located?
What was that?
The AEDs, I don't remember
Oh.
what they stand for, but the first aid. Thank you. Will shelving be purchased for the self-contained classroom storage room? In the course, like, there's more questions. So that level of detail, when is it appropriate for us to get together and review that? Or can we see it before the 18th?
Shelving's not part of FF&E, right? Shelving
Yes.
it's part of FF&E? Shelving?
If it's
Yeah.
movable?
Movable shelving.
Oh, movable shelving, not like,
Steel
not
shelves in
carpentry.
the storage room, things like that are FF&E.
Yeah. So we can
AEDs
send
fixed to
these
the wall.
questions, but, like, when's the time to
It's still
get
electronics.
into that?
I'm going to make a comment that maybe should be a question, but I'll treat it as a comment, and you can correct me. I mean, as Claudio said, the best route is to take those questions and forward them to Joe Collada so that he can give you the answer as to what they're designing and how. But when it comes to, reviewing finite details, quite honestly, that's why you have an FF&E subcommittee. Their job is to dig into the details, and as Claudio said, to make sure that they're responding to everything in the ed spec, through the discussions, through the,
Okay.
through the users, and in concert with maintaining the budget. So I think
So-
the intent here is to have some faith in all the legwork that they've been doing.
So my only concern with that is, and it's not even a concern, it's more like again, we have been tasked with not using up all of our budget. And so I want to have at least we have to do our due diligence to look at the list to make sure there's nothing out there that isn't obvious, something that doesn't obviously stick out as like, wow, that seems like a really big expense. Did we really need that? Because if we ask the question, the public's going to ask the question. And the last thing we need is people in town saying, like, why the heck did they just spend, $40,000 on a gold-plated blah, blah, blah? Like, did they really need that? Obviously, I don't think no, I'm not saying that the teachers would make that kind of extravagant, or the administration make that kind of extravagant decision. I'm not saying that. But I don't like being a check-the-box kind of committee member. Like, I want to make sure that I put my due diligence in as I feel like I owe that to the town, right? To make sure that we're not just checking off a box.
Joe's notes indicate the next meeting of the FF&E Technology Group is going to be the 4th. So
September.
perhaps if committee members want to delve into the finer details, attending that meeting
What
might
day
be
of the week is that?
Wednesday next week.
There's minutes for those meetings, right? I mean, that's stuff people can review if
Are
they're
there
interested.
meeting minutes? Do you guys are you keeping meeting?
No.
Joe, I don't know if Joe is in his team is keeping those. But I don't.
But if we're meeting on the 25th, we need to have it submitted a week early, or the Board of Ed is
Right.
not going to want to look at it.
Oh, they're not going to look at it unless it's submitted early.
Well, if the Board of Ed wants it a week before, I'm feeling like Jessica, and I think I would like to, as a committee member, would like to see what's there before it's like being
Public.
presented to Board of Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's consistent with some of the other committees we've had as well. You know, we've had subcommittees run other things, and then we bring it back and discuss it as a whole group. It's not. I don't want it to come across as we're doubting, but we're wanting to do our due diligence as part of our charter.
Exactly.
And everything may go through exactly as is listed, which is cool, but we feel like we should be doing our due diligence.
We should all know.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. Like, we should all,
I don't disagree, I just. Well, right now, it's all a work in progress, because right now, Ann and Enzer and employees was on, you know, and they're looking at, you know,
My,
this, want that, no, we switch this, switch that, until they have a package that's ready to present. They want to present umpteen different versions. They're trying to make sure that it's reading the edge.
So I guess the question is, do you think by the 18th we would have
my intent is to have that package completed, brought before the school building committee, have Enza and Ann here, because once you've seen the items on there, you're gonna ask why this and why that, and I
Yeah.
can't answer
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The administrators have to answer why they
Yeah.
chose those items.
Is she
What-
gonna be here for the 18th meeting or no? Is she gonna be out?
I don't know.
Married, so I don't think so. That's the-
I think she gets married on the 18th, and
Just around
and she
there.
comes back
the
on the
18th is when the
25th.
documents have to be given to Board of Ed a week early ahead of their meeting. So,
So do we need a
pull up our
special
meeting?
meeting on the 11th, 10th?
Update from Emily, who's watching online. There are refrigerators in the lactation room, there is shelving, and it is reimbursable. If the committee wants to review the list, a special meeting is needed, and she had advised Joe that that might be the case.
Excellent.
So,
I'm leaving now.
Like I said, if we want to have Ann and Enza here for that meeting.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you want to at least take a look at it before the meeting.
Right.
So that any questions could be brought to Enza and Ann
So how soon can we have that meeting then? Because if she's gonna be gone,
as soon as we can get the information together.
so the 11th is what, 2 weeks from now? Could we do a special meeting on the 11th?
everything done except for the desks?
Yeah, I think that's enough.
So, give us what you have. If it's done except for the desks, then,
Advise Mr. Culata to send.
Okay.
yeah. With the meeting on the 4th, I would think the week after, things you
Meeting on
can
the
be
4th?
incorporated.
Meeting on the 4th?
FF&E subcommittee meeting on the
Oh,
4th
subcommittee.
to go over the final details.
Yeah.
And Emily's comments, the aim is to have the package completed by the 13th. That would then give you a chance to look at it and make any final adjustments, have it to the board by around the 18th, so that everybody has the final
We just need to
for
have,
review for the special meeting on the 25th.
we just need to have a meeting with Enza and Ann before Enza leaves on her
On her trip.
trip. And do you know when that date is? Do you know when she's leaving?
I don't know.
Do you know when she's
It is
leaving?
around the 18th.
I know she comes back on the 25th, and it was only a week, so I'm
So I
assuming
guess
she's leaving on
sometime
the
around
18th.
Yeah.
But that's an assumption on my part. She said 1 week, because
Yeah.
we had this conversation.
Only 1 week?
That's what I said.
Okay, it's getting clarified that the meeting on the 4th is for technology.
Only.
Okay. So maybe if she's around the 11th, which is 2 weeks from today, we'll have a special meeting just to cover that.
Yeah.
She'll definitely be here on the 11th. I mean, she'll be at work. She won't leave for another week after that.
Okay. Just
So
a matter of will Joe have a package ready by then?
Yeah, I mean, even if it's 90+%
Yeah.
done, he can watermark it, draft, whatever it is, just
Yeah.
to tell us that it's near final but not done yet. We can take a look at it.
And then the teachers' desks, you're waiting for Suburban? Who's supposed to give you something?
Patrick Kelly and the team are working on finding the correct desk as requested by the teachers that's reasonably priced.
Are they gonna bring the desks in to show them? Like, do you have to go
No.
through the whole cycle, or just find whatever
Just
specs?
find it and do pictures. The only detail is that it has 2 pedestals on both sides. The teachers want more file space and storage space in the desk.
Oh, they're like traditional desks. Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
I mean, I would think they would want traditional desks to put like pens and stuff in there, not just tabletops.
no, that's what I said. It's got drawers and files
Yeah.
and the center drawer to keep stuff. Um,
We want storage, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
The
like
one
it?
the one he brought had just one
One
side.
side.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was just, we got stuff,
not usable, yeah.
yeah.
And none of the desks that they have now, they're all old, right? You can't use any of those. Okay, all right. Any more discussion on this for now? So we're gonna aim for 9/11 for a special meeting. And I'll talk to Joe, find out if he thinks they can make, whatever it is, whatever they got for 9/11, we're gonna review. We'll just leave it at that. Hopefully they'll have the desks figured
99%,
out.
100%, or 90%? Let's have something, and then we
Yeah.
can discuss what's remaining afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. Next on the agenda was a new entrance sign. So Ron, do we have any updates on the, like, proposals or anything?
Well, we had the 3 proposals that we had,
Yeah.
and I got some more information on the signs, that's the link. Sorry about that. That's the link that in the email I sent you earlier.
Oh, let me open up that email.
Yeah, so you'll see it. So, the question was about vandalism. It's got Lexan, a protective shield on it, so, they were showing a demonstration that they can hit it with a baseball bat, and it's fine. One of the other ones you had talked about, seeing it was cellular. The cellular is where they're going with all their signs. They put a SIMS card in it, and your software is data. It's a cloud-based data, and when you buy the sign, you basically have the cellular for life, with the SIM card in it. So there's no cell phone service. Your software is included, and I believe it's got a 5-year, pretty much a 5-year pots and labor.
So you're saying that there's no cellular charge
No,
after the install, but it's only good for 5 years?
no, this is the warranty
Oh,
for
the war-
vandalism or minimal vandalism.
Yeah.
But it's a SIMS card that plugs in. You got a cloud-based user in the building, or if you had your cell phone, you could log in and you could change the sign anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but don't you have to pay for the cellular service at the
No,
sign?
when they have a SIMS card that plugs in,
Yeah.
and when you buy the sign, it's a lifetime. You own that card for life. It's not like you got this cell phone sitting there. They have a SIMS card that sits in there, and that's the sign technology that they have. So you log in.
So it uses cellular, but we don't have to pay for that cellular.
That cellular service comes through when you buy the sign. And I don't know, Ken, if you've done that.
I'm 100% against an electronic sign.
Okay. So, but anyways, but
Not our
that's.
choice.
But that's the way it works, and you'll see that last set of links that I sent you
I
this
didn't
afternoon.
get the email.
Okay, I'll have to check.
Yeah.
Cell service was crappy today, so.
Oh yeah, that's okay. So in addition to the sign, you remember the range of cost for the sign? Just the sign by itself?
It was somewhere just under 30.
So $30,000 for just the sign. Then we have to add like the masonry stuff that goes around the sign, right?
Well, it all depends on what you want to do, because
Right.
they do have composite materials that you can use that are pretty durable. Synthetic stone, synthetic brick. There's all kinds of stuff that they can
But
use.
that's a separate cost, whatever goes around the sign to mount
Right.
it. So now you have that, so figure like 20 grand for that. Then the electrical, come to find out, to get wires to the sign is like, what was it, 25,000? What did we say was that on the change order for all the signage?
Pulled in 142.
42,000. So
So I thought we said we had electrical go out there, or we don't?
we had to pay the conduit. No wires right now.
Oh, okay.
But we don't need the, I guess we don't need the high speed, we don't need the fiber optics,
Yeah.
which saves us $8,000.
Well, once again, that's only if you use that option that he presents with the cellular service.
Oh, yeah.
You may
If you
need
use one of the other ones, it wouldn't.
it. Correct.
So what do we say was the The delta
So,
for just
I
the,
had a conversation with Joe after I received the comments
Yeah.
on the PCOs, and we agreed that we'd take that bulletin one number, and we'd break it down by the media center, fire dampers, site sign work, and then everything else that was encompassed in the bulletin. So, for the media center changes, deleting the wall and everything, it was a net credit of $17,169.76. For the mechanical fire dampers that were going into the MDF, it was $4,895. The site sign, and once again, these numbers are still being vetted. The site sign work for site work, electrical and comm work, that's fiber optics and everything, was $59,854.
all right, let's stop there. So $59,800 just to get, just to get wires to the sign, for the most part.
Conduit.
Conduit.
Yeah, 3.
Fiber optics,
uh,
data,
fiber.
power,
No, just fiber optics, electrical, conduit.
okay, $59,000 to run that. Just beyond me, I don't even know how you rack up.
Everyone grab a shovel.
Anyways, so that's 60,000. Then we said the sign itself was like 30,000. And then we're figuring like whatever it's mounted in, whether it's stone, whatever, let's say 25,000. Right? It's gonna cost a pretty penny. You're over $110,000 for this sign.
Or, say right now the 30 was the carbs. Just using the 30,000, that was including, part of the sign. So if you're gonna mount it, if you take the digital display out, or hold the digital display and get rid of the other components, because they had the sign similar to what the carved sign that we have in front of the school now, but similar to like what the fire department is, the sign above and then the digital billboard underneath. So you, depending on how you're doing this, that 30,000 was including all this other pieces other than just the digital.
So there's flexibility, but we're still north of, say, $80,000. This is not in the ed spec right now for this digital sign.
So are we expecting people, when they're at a stop sign, to be getting their news from this sign?
It's gonna be a static message.
I know, but it's like, seriously? Everybody gets emails, or they're on Facebook or whatever. Who's going to be getting their updates from a digital sign? The technology's going to change in 5 years, and we're going to have something, some hunk
I
of
don't-
junk sitting out there that doesn't work.
All I know is I drove into the high school yesterday and it still said graduation date. So they don't update the static signs at all.
Just
But-
have it say Cromwell Middle School.
But because they don't update the signs anymore, no one reads the signs anymore because they're like, I already know. I'm not gonna get my event I don't need to be told that tomorrow's the last day of school because I know tomorrow's the last day of school.
So why do we need a digital message board?
don't know.
And frankly, I think they're ugly, but
I don't think they're. So we can take the action to go back to the Board of Ed and explain the cost of this little addition.
Was this a Board of Ed driven? I feel like we don't know where the drive
Board
is
of Ed.
for this.
Board of Ed. Was it the Board of Ed or was it Ann?
And Dad does want one, she did say to me. I think it should have like on the highway, time to drop off your kid when the line's out the door.
Estimated time.
Yes.
to drop off.
Minutes from here.
Days.
Yeah.
Please.
But on that corner, it's a little too late.
That's actually I like that idea. Actually, that's
But
not
it
bad.
actually, unlike this morning, it should have been down at the firehouse because
I
it
was
was
gonna- yeah.
it was a long line.
So
Would
we'll
we
talk
have-
about that later.
Sorry,
Okay.
Because I'm curious about that, but
Would the ed spec have called it something other than a sign or marquee?
message board,
Plaque.
entrance sign.
Well, sign isn't in there.
No, I don't. I
Message isn't in there.
don't remember
Board.
seeing anything about that. No.
Board, there's It's
Yeah.
too much signage. Yeah, there's.
The
sign
old,
in any form is.
I mean, the old marker plaque is there. The current plaque is there. I keep calling it a plaque because it's like, isn't it a stone etched thing? Or is it wood? Is it just wood?
No, it's it's got like the white where you slide the letters
It's
in.
metal. It's metal. We just put it back up the other day.
It's like the old fashioned where you slide in the letters to make it
Okay.
spell out
And
what
some-
you need to.
I think I'm thinking about the high school. The high school has the gray one. with-
West doesn't have a sign. They just have
They
like
do.
a wood side sign.
No,
but
they have
is
a,
there?
they have a
They
sign
all
with
do.
letters.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why, why could
Yeah.
I not picture
Oh,
it?
right in the front, like.
Yeah,
the-
right, right off the road.
Right off
where
the road, yeah.
No one's looking, they're looking.
No, you wouldn't miss it either.
anybody read the sign at the fire department?
Nope, no, not once.
All I know, well, I went.
Or the one on
by-
372 for that matter.
I read the one on Court Street because, you know, they like to tell us how many, state calls they had. But it's like, that's the only message that comes up. I'm like,
I'll be fair, I do read the signs at the schools. I did notice the high school was not updated this morning. However, they are usually on top of it. That's why I noticed. I was surprised that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, to
So
be
the-
fair to the
middle-
schools, they do usually keep them
The middle school is
updated.
usually updated.
Yeah,
But, you know, like every 2 weeks.
yeah.
The middle school is updated. It says welcome back.
Right. But I mean, in the past, it's been pretty updated. Except for the last year when it was on the ground.
I mean, I go to newer schools, I don't even notice these kinds of signs anymore. I don't think even people put
Why don't-
message boards anymore in the front.
Why don't we talk about it on 9/11? I guess it's not under the FF&E umbrella, but if that's when we'll have
It seems
the
like
administrators
something-
here.
Yeah, that we want to bring back to the Board of Ed and the
Yeah.
administration.
Yeah.
So, it is, I'm just really quiet.
I do want
So
to.
it's just what agenda do we put it on?
I do want to note that we have expended dollars to get the conduits under the driveway.
Yeah, how
so-
much have we spent? So it was like 12,000? It was something low though compared to the rest of the costs.
I can work on that.
Yeah.
I don't have a firm answer to that, but there is dollars there.
Huh?
So does that mean that
Um,
if
No one seems to.
the administration and the committee and the Board of Ed said, we're not going to pursue a digital sign today as part of this project, but in the future we may want to consider it, does that mean that enough conduit and access has been run in order for them to make that decision later?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
if we
there's
said, let's
there's
stick with the current
definitely
sign
value
order.
there in having it in place.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we get even a static sign that's lit, you know?
Yeah.
Is it
Spotlights on it.
reimbursable, Jack, the,
That's a question I can't answer right now.
okay,
Give it 50/50 at best.
all right. Okay, so, and we'll continue discussion. I will let Selena know that we are questioning the cost benefit of the sign. And then we can add it to our September 11th meeting agenda to further discuss. Perkins Eastman report. So Joe is unable to come today. We had the soil management on here as an agenda item, but he's not here. And I think the change order committee already approved that soil management cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
talked
so
about that last
We'll
week.
talk about that at the, we'll talk about that at the change order discussion later. Let me just read the email that he sent, just to read it into the minutes. So, so the field report, Perkins Eastman and our consultants have been making regular visits, site visits to observe the construction progress and continue to issue field reports. We also continue to address submittals and RFIs in order of priority and review of PCOs and pay apps. For the FF&E, he mentioned remains in progress. We are working on finalizing last few selections. The estimates are tracking on budget, and we continue to adjust allowances for installation, including with some pricing. and reduce the contingency as items are finalized. Procurement method will be mostly off-state contract, but we are tracking a few items that may require a hard bid. We continue to meet with the FF&E subcommittee regularly. Next meeting, he said TBD, but we're saying it's September 4th,
There's a technology meeting on the 4th.
technology meeting. So when's your next FFE meeting? No one yet, okay. Arcadis is working with the town to compile the front-end specifications. Is that a true statement?
Yes,
Okay.
bidding requirements for the town. Right.
Okay. He went on to say FFE and technology, next meeting will be on 9/4 to finalize remaining open items. Dark fiber connections phone system, which will allow D'Agostino to complete their documents and estimates. Number 4, we plan to issue the full package the Friday before the joint for review. So he's saying the Friday before the 25th will be too late. So we're going to need to push that up. Whatever he's got by the 11th, whatever it is. Logo use, we'll be reviewing at the next meeting. So Heather and I met with Joe on the logos. There was some questions about the way they have it planned out. The logos is depicted like 4 different types around the building right now. We have some with claws, some without claws, some with panthers on it, some without falcons. I can't look at the panther. Some with falcons, some without falcons. So Heather and I made a suggestion that because at the front of the school, it should say like Cromwell Middle School. It shouldn't say like Falcons. We're not right. It's the middle school. So which we'll talk at the next meeting, but it should say like Cromwell Middle School with the logo without the word Falcons in there, without the claw marks, just a falcon, and the words Cromwell Middle School. And then inside on Main Street, there was the same discussion about like, what do you want on the wall? Again, kind of trying to maintain the consistency with the logo, and as well as whatever we end up picking for graphics, we have to take that into consideration. So they're gonna come up with, and there were some issues too with the gym logo they had now, like the font sizes were like not proportioned properly. So he's gonna go fix that, and we'll have that discussion at the next meeting. There's no like urgency on that right now. PV system, he wrote update at October 2nd meeting. PV system? What's PV? Oh, photovoltaics, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. And then he's going to introduce Mark McCarthy at our next meeting. Mark replaced Joe Costa, so I thought we did that last meeting, no? You guys didn't meet Mark yet? Okay, nice guy. That's it. That's his updates for that. So, moving right along. Let me go back to my agenda. Let's see. Newfield. Do you have a construction update you want to go over? Is that this?
Do we have that video or no?
Yes.
Ooh, video. I like video.
You have 2 videos?
Yeah, both 2 drone videos.
Oh, there's 2 of them. All right. We'll just let's go.
Maybe you'll recognize the thumbnail.
Yeah. So this is July.
Okay, this one right here.
That's August. That's my latest one. So this starts with the majority of the slab pour for the A area. That's the administration wing right there. They're pouring the concrete right there, placing it. That depression there that you see is the auditorium, and you can see the stage right there. It's got a slight depression to it, and the back areas there of the band and chorus areas. Coming around here, that's the Board of Education, half complete. It's fully complete now. They're working on detailing and decking it right now. I had to watch out because the crane was up that day. They were actually placing pieces in the Board of Education building. As of today, the gym is fully framed up, joists are in place, and they're going to get ready to detail that and put metal decking on. As we come around to the north side here, you can see where those lifts are running. They started doing your cold form metal framing on the exterior of the building. Right there, once again, there's the kitchen and caf areas right there. You can clearly see Main Street there. And now those green bundles there are the sheathing for the building, which you'll start seeing going up sooner than later here. They're actually working on the second floor cold form metal framing on both the west and north elevations. You can't really see in that picture, but the staircase on the far end there is up to roof level. They're on the inside edge of it, and they're going to start working on the outside tomorrow. As far as whatever else you're seeing in there, the last section there that isn't yellow on the left side there, that's going to be poured tomorrow, with the section at the ramp, and that will be the completion of basically 97% of all your concrete work for the project. Also within that photo right there on the bottom right hand side, you can see the piers for the main entry canopy have been poured. Actually, Ron and I were talking earlier, we're starting to level out the entire area along the front of the building now. We're going to use some of that as our laydown area. Plus, we're going to have some crane picks that are going to occur down that line. We're really shaping up out there. We're really happy with the progress. September's a big month for us. We're gonna be very close to the end of steel erection and detailing by the end of September.
I feel like things go pretty quick once you're done with the steel, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, because everything's following behind in B section right now. They're actually starting the MEPs by running some conduits, doing your roof drains, roof leaders, stuff like that. All that work is occurring right as we speak. They've all
See it well in the video, there's a lot of block work already going on.
absolutely. Yeah, we're looking. I'd say by the 6th, somewhere around in there, they should be done with both the stair towers, the elevator shaft, and the firewall at B, moving into the C area where we're going to start forming out the electrical room and the kitchen area. And then they'll keep marching their way clockwise around the building into the gym area. They'll do all of the high walls of the gym, the locker room area, and then start moving their way over to A building. Same with framing. The idea that we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and get all sides of the courtyard done as soon as we can. So once the erection of the A building is done, they're going to fall back. They're going to do the cold form metal framing. That way we can have as much time in that courtyard to get all that flat work, all those walkways, the whole amphitheater, all that stuff formed out for you. So we're working to
I have a question. So the middle roofing piece there,
Yep.
the wide panels on the left, is there supposed to be something underneath that? Are those rooms under there? Is this?
that's the media center.
So the concrete has not been poured underneath the media
No, it
center?
has. You have a cantilevered overhang off the media center. That's on columns as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
It extends past the front edge of the
I
media
got
center.
it. Okay, that's what it is. All right.
Yeah, and then we're back there
Yeah.
in that whole area.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a shadow line there.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense to me then. Okay, I couldn't see it from here. And yeah, it just looked like it was over dirt. I'm like, oh, that's a big cantilever, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, shadow.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, I was up on the roof yesterday and I was looking down at the TST. It's actually dry in there somewhat today.
Nice.
And yesterday.
And it rained a lot last week too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's sediment runoff from the site. I'd have to shoot that, but
I thought you guys were gonna like dig out the sediment or something. You did that already?
we haven't done that yet, but
Oh.
it's on the list of things to do. We've been monitoring that water level, and we'll continue to monitor that.
Those three frame walls above the second floor, those are the roof screens for the RTU?
Yes, it's all galvanized, fully welded. Any other
Awesome.
questions on the video? We can get in.
You have another video. Was the other video of the parking lot?
The other video had the parking lot in it, yes.
We just because in case anyone hasn't seen it, it'd be good to just show the. Do you guys have? Do you still have that video? Would you say the queue line was better or worse than it was last year? Because it's a much longer
It's
path.
hard, you can't tell first day because so many people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
It seemed similar today,
yeah.
but it was the first day, and a lot of people dropped their kids on the first day. They maybe don't do it later. So
The only way I could
I'll
tell
know better
is if I
next
pull up my email.
Oh, don't worry about it. That's okay.
I have another question for Chris. Do you know is the mock-up there yet?
Yeah, the mock-up is in place. Everything is in it except for the metal panel and the window itself. Before the end of the month, those will be installed. You'll be able to take a look at exactly what well, not exactly because the colors won't be there, but the relief and the sizes and all that stuff will be there.
Yeah, what is that? I saw pictures. What is a mock-up?
So the mock-up aim of us to put together a mini cross-section of the exterior assembly of the building and show all the different details of all the different conditions so that they can understand that the contractor knows what they're supposed to be doing and that the quality of the material is there, and to see the colors together and pick mortars and see it all put together in one spot. And it serves as the benchmark for the construction of the envelope.
Back to the parking lot. Right now, it's a one-lane circle entrance around. Eventually, the final state will be 2 lanes.
Without having the drawing in front of me.
Okay, I think that's what the drawing.
That was my
had.
understanding, and then it would merge as it got to the way
Yeah.
actually drop the kids off.
It looks wide enough now to do that. I
Yeah,
just
it
know
was
this is
pretty
the
wide.
temporary painting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the final limit of that parking lot hasn't been established because it's beyond the fence line there. So,
But next year, you'd have to have both buses and parent dropping off the same path, right?
yeah, part of our site logistics shows all of that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else, Chris?
Wait, what? What is we have? Oh, for temporary, we're gonna have bus and for that 1 year. Okay.
Until they tear down the school.
Yeah.
The new bus loops like where the school is.
Yeah.
All right. We good?
Yeah, we're good with that. I think Ron and I are both going to speak to this, so
Okay.
we can do slide if you want. Slide through that. All right. So I've pretty much already gone through this. Exterior subgrade filling, that's what I was talking about with filling in front of the school, getting everything leveled out and ready to go. That's coming along nicely. The exterior canopy piers are all done now. The foundation damp proofing and waterproofing is complete. Everything under the slab is done. And structural steel, they're working on the C, like I said. That's the gym C, and all of the BOE is erect now. Like I talked about before, the mock-up, we just need the window and metal panel. We already discussed the south parking lot. And then the remaining slab on grade in A and D, that was the ramp section and that little last section in the A building are being poured tomorrow. Cold form metal framing is going to continue on B building. They actually started on C. If you drive on Herbert Porter, come around the back, you can see they actually started framing the kitchen area and the cafeteria and all that stuff today and yesterday. And then the interior MEPs, like I said before, roof drains, leaders, some conduits are starting. Anything that we can do without a roof, we're doing right now. Hangers for all of the other utilities, stuff like that. As far as installation of drainage and storm structures and all that stuff, we are pretty much all the way around the east side, and we're moving all the way down the north side. We're in the northwest corner right now, and we're making the turn to go south, and we're almost done with all of that as well. And then as far as gas service is concerned, they're coming to do that within the month of September, and that's going to be great because we'll be able to use it for our temp heat to keep the schedule pushing all winter. And the electrical transformer pad is on order. I'm hoping that it's going to be here within the next week or so, and then we can finalize all the primary conduit runs and be that much closer for Eversource and delivery of permanent power. So
The grease trap's been set.
yep, the grease trap on the north side's been set, as well as all of the associated piping to and from, which is for your cafeteria.
Yeah, those sanitaries wrapped around your domestic water is brought in, your fire water. Landscaping is on the south side of the parking lot's been wrapped up for this phase. It's looking good.
As far as design progress is concerned, Ron, you want to speak to that?
Okay, Tri-State material testing's been out. They've been out doing bottom inspections, rebar inspections, concrete. And they've done the FFFL testing for the floors, and they've started doing some structural steel inspections. The commissioning agent, SES, has been out. He's been looking at the vapor barriers and assemblies, and there's really been no questions with that. He had a couple of just minor questions, and those have been answered. And the special inspector, Bill Fleur, has been out, and he has not had any issues. And up until, I guess, a couple days ago, I believe the town of Cromwell sanitary department's been out watching and inspecting all the pipes being laid. He's out there pretty much from the time they start to the time they wrap up. And he's been looking at the pipe laying, the cover, and then the paving of the inverts in the sanitary sewer manholes and what have you. And I believe they've done some air tests and cameras. So everything's been going along, and it seems like everybody's, credit to Chris and his team. The work is getting done, and there, as far as I know, there has not been any issues.
No, and as far as design is concerned, all the key players are in contact with everybody. We've got good communication going, so it makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
I've already put 2-week schedule in my talk earlier, so we can move right through this.
Do you have the full timeline in this presentation?
What do you mean?
Are we still looking at August next year?
Yes. We're within the window right now. I'm tracking plus or minus 7 right now. That's kind of my over/under right now, and we're right in the window. So.
Okay. When do walls go up?
Interior partitions?
Not external walls.
They're going now.
The walls, exterior walls?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, on B building. On the, yeah, on the west and north walls. We're all the way, so on the end of the B building, we're from the stair tower all the way around on the north to right about the kitchen right now. All those walls have been framed.
Oh, wow.
Take the road down to the park.
Yeah, I can see it. That's fun.
I can show you now.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I love pictures. Yeah.
So that's just a still shot overhead of your entire project from when they were pouring the slab.
Oh, it's like a real building.
And then I took it, as I was flying around taking the video, I took some still shots as well, just so you could get a better stop image of what was going on there.
Has the weather been behaving? Is weather still an issue at all, or no?
I was tracking it. I have it off to the side. We've been pretty favorable lately, so I'm gonna knock on wood about that.
Okay, good.
All these photos were from before we even paved, it looks like. Actually, I
I
take
think
that
the
back.
the first ones are like fine.
No, this is after we paved. So there's your landscaping.
Did you install new trees? Are those new trees, or were they there?
Absolutely. All those 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 of them there, 3 or 4 of them. And then you had a whole run along the south side of the parking lot there. Put in all different types of spruce and evergreens.
That's a nice sidewalk.
So this is the remainder of your underground going in the A building.
I don't think they can. It's really tall. It's high. The curb.
That's the remainder of your canopy piers and the slab on grade being done. That was the last section of A building. Photos. And then these are, I'm just showing you that masonry has started at both stair towers, and they've loaded the job with block. They're ready to go. They're doing a great job right now.
The elevator shafts in there and everything.
Elevator shaft is within 2 courses of the roof. I was actually standing on the staging before I came over here, so.
Nice.
There's your framing. You can see the framing right there in both of those photos. Those are your exterior walls. It's a photo from the roof. Just some old ones of when they were doing slab pours and prep. That's standing on the roof there on the left side.
So what's your timeline to when you think we're going to have like 4-wall building?
We're hoping to be weather tight by November.
Nice.
That's where we're running to.
That's exciting.
Well, we have to maintain your schedule. We have
Yeah.
to.
So are you doing brickwork in the spring? Or is that winter too?
No, they're going to be tenting it, doing whatever they got to get that done.
Good.
We're working all year round. You guys bought that as well, so. This is more of what Ron was talking about, the grease interceptors on the right side there. We've put in numerous manhole structures, basins, water main that's your main water line connection for domestic water on the left-hand side. And right about where you see that guy standing in the bottom left-hand corner is where your fire protection is coming in. All that work is done up to the T. Pressure tested, everything. We're ready to turn that on as soon as we get back reports and whatnot, so. In the meetings, just so you guys are clear, every week I commend them on what they're doing, because this is a fast-paced project. But I always remind them that, this time next year, we better have a school in place, and that the pedal to the metal is not coming off, so. And they've been rising to the challenge, so I just wanted to say that.
Chris, I got a question. What possible factors could halt this project, slow it down, to not meet our deadline?
Hurricane?
What are the biggest risks?
Oh, La Nina?
Well, yeah, it would be weather or major breakdowns in supply chains. It would be one of those two, or a natural disaster of something else.
What's with the snack shack utilities connections? Did we disconnect something?
No, we had to put in a new water line with that.
Water line?
I think, yeah, we had to reroute something there. It was all part of the deal.
Got it.
There's your mock-up. That was before we put the red brick veneer on. So what they do is they bring it up a certain amount of courses. I think there's 4 or 5 courses there. Then they lay the flashing in to allow the water to drain out of the masonry. So above that is where they would lay the brick course. That was just a partial photo of what we've
So they're
done.
going to actually like build up with masonry this little mock-up?
It's all done except for the window and the metal panel. Yes.
Both colors brick or just one
Yep.
and everything?
Yep.
And then what do you do when you're done? You tear it down?
Goes in the trash. Yeah.
Rosanna wants in her front.
I want it looks like a cute little clubhouse for like kids or something.
It's only one return wall. That's all that it is.
Oh, it's just one wall. I thought it was like
I asked if we could build like a small shed as the mock-up, and then we don't have to knock it down, we'll use it for storage.
no,
and
didn't
get-
fly.
I asked that.
And actually, we had
We should probably take a picture of that.
good
So
design
color.
team representation last week, and we were able to make some good decisions on that and get some materials released off of that. So
I might have to- is it right in front? Where is it?
it's
Yeah, is this the red right here?
yeah, that's the red.
So what's the point?
Oh.
It's right behind the Little League backstop.
Oh, okay.
You can see the red backstop.
Yeah. I might have to take a picture of it.
What's the?
I remember myself, we have white on.
Yep, you're right. Your white is brick 2, and your red is your brick 1. The main field of the project is the red brick.
I remember Joe saying they're not sure they're going to get the exact color of the one we picked out. It'd be good to see what actually came out of it.
We did get the exact color.
Well, they said because of manufacturing variations, blah blah blah. They didn't know if they can get the right
They
one.
applied some pressure, and they agreed to supply the project. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, so your brick 1 is main everything, and then brick 2 is accent, and it's going to be nice. It's because you're going to have that white brick 2 as a relief within the brick facade itself,
Yeah.
even with the red and the white. So it's going to look good. It's pretty slick. And I'll let Ron and Jack take over from here.
Fun stuff. Money we have, money we've spent, money we've got left. Next slide. Okay, for the middle school, we've paid $9 million against the 59 million that have been encumbered. We've got 8.5 million yet to encumber. That includes FF&E, technology, and our owner's contingency. For central admin, we've paid $9 against the 3.4 or so that's been committed. We've got about 900,000 left uncommitted, unencumbered at this point. Next slide. This is in your packet. You can see it in detail. The highlighted areas are categories that have changed in the expended value for the month. It means that's where we spent paid bills, predominantly in the construction cost. Next slide. And as far as owner's contingency is concerned, we have, I can't see in the dark color there, but about 2.6 million in the owner's contingency on the the middle school side, and about 167,000 on the central admin side. And again, as we get change orders, as we get other expenses throughout the project, we are parsing them project by project. So you see those contingency numbers come down. Next slide. This is the contingency breakdown for the middle school, similar one for the central admin project, tracking every transaction, money into and out of each of the contingencies. You can advance 2 slides. At the change order committee meeting, there was a fee proposal for revising the documentation that goes along with our dirty dirt. The receiving entity was not able to take the soils, so the environmental consultant needs to redo the manifests and such for the facility that will accept the soils. So there was a fee of $4,025, including Perkins Eastman's markup, to have the environmental consultant take care of that. That was reviewed and approved by the change order committee, and we're asking you tonight to affirm the decision of the change order committee so we can get this into the committee record. Can we have a motion?
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Anyone
you.
abstaining? Motion carries.
Just for everybody's information, the reason for the landfill that it was scheduled to go to closed down. So it was a hand that was dealt the project, and we had nothing. Unexpected. It wasn't a plan to shut down.
There was an act of God, yeah, there was an act of God. There was a landslide there.
Microphone.
There was a landslide? Something?
Yeah, there was a landslide at the fill location, and the state of Massachusetts shut them down.
Next slide. Change order approvals for record. Again, this has been reviewed and approved by your change order subcommittee. Sanitary. Can you, Chris, provide some context on what the town asked us to do differently?
So we got out there, we started working the sanitary sewer at the south side of the building in conjunction with their review of other in-place structures and whatnot. They were looking at the drawings, and they wanted to increase the size of piping leaving the building. So the majority of that cost is due to going from 4-inch pipe to 6-inch pipe, the associated excavation thereof, and then there were other. There was a larger section of 8-foot pipe that was coming out of the building that was originally called to be 6, so they upsized that as well. And then came out to be that they wanted to have clean outs on all of the bends within the line, things of that nature. You know, there was a realignment too. You had an existing structure right over near the Little League backstop, and the way that angle was going to be catching the new catch basin, they didn't like that, so we shifted that over as well. That's in there as well.
They made last minute changes to plans that were already approved.
Yes, and one would say that they were to better the end product. Yes.
Sure.
Was
I don't
it-
know why it didn't came up now and not when the drawings were reviewed.
Was it changes to already built work?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Does this include any cost for design work that needed to be done, like
No.
drawing updates, anything like
No.
that? Okay. Will that be additional?
I don't believe so.
You'll be recording it in your as-bills, though.
Yes.
Okay.
And what was the rationale for upsizing all the pipes?
That I couldn't answer you. I was just given, this is what we're doing, and this is why.
What I heard, that they weren't pleased with the size of the pipes.
So at least it was caught before any installations happened, so it's not rework. It's, as Chris described it, it's a betterment to the project.
Yes.
And without rework, it is eligible for reimbursement. Additional fire alarm components, there was a clarification through a request for information. What is utility relocation concern?
So when we originally had the phasing plan done, you have that utility corridor. We've talked about this between the construction fence line and the existing building there, and it showed the sanitary line coming down on the east side, and the water coming down on the east side of that corridor, and we made a decision to ask RFI 67 to move that. We were more concerned about the water line to the west side and move it away from the existing foundation of the building, because we were worried that when we went into demo the existing foundation and fill it in, that we would undermine our new structures that we need to maintain flows on and for the new school. And there were also other issues with maintaining existing flows from the existing building when sliding in the new utilities within that corridor, and that $6,755 accounts for some realignments in there so that we're further away from the existing building and we're not going to run the risk of damaging anything that's new.
So was this all done? Work.
No rework, this is all
So
done
when we
before.
submit this to the state, we should clarify the language, because relocate is a scary word to the state, and they usually tag those, anything that sounds like rework, they will tag as ineligible. So we'll just watch our wording on the state change order.
Yep.
And then the breaker swap, once the coordination study was done, that a different part was needed, so that's the delta in the cost of the material. So this is $192.04. Please don't submit round up, round down. If the IRS does it, we should do it too. So we ask that the committee approve a motion to affirm the change order committee's approval of these changes in the amount of $52,992.04.
Are these all coming out of owner's contingency?
Other than the $6,700 that'll come out of CM contingency, the net impact on owner's contingency is the $52,000.
Anyone have any questions? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion
Very
carries.
good, thank you. Invoices for approval. Also, we're in your package. We have Arcadis invoice for the month of July, commissioning for the month of July. We have the two invoices from Newfield for the month of July, one for central admin, one for the middle school. And we have invoice number 19 from Perkins Eastman for the month of July. Total value, $1,667,711.86, and we ask for your approval.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
And I think that's it for our slideshow. I do have one financially related item to bring before you, and that is a ad service request from Perkins Eastman in the amount of $4,800 for environmental wall graphics. We're asking that the committee approve this, and then ultimately the associated purchase order increase to go along with it.
Just curious, why are we're calling it environmental wall? What's the?
It's the wall graphics.
This is just the thing we've been
Yeah.
talking about, right? The wall graphics.
And,
Okay, all right.
and I did clarify with Joe, I asked him if there's an hour limit, and he said, no, it's as much time as it requires till we get a design that we all like. So. This is for the design work for the wall graphics.
Well, I missed that. We're back to Perkins now with that.
They really wanted it. They really wanted to do it, and, you know, I mean, it makes sense, because when they have their photos and show off the building, they want to
So there's
not have to
no-
hide the parts that they didn't do.
So we have plenty of back and forth. We have plenty of, renditions.
No,
Yeah,
they
that's
said
what
it-
I wanted to make sure is we weren't
He
put
said
in a box again.
He
that
said,
we,
he said, we'll give it as many iterations as it takes to get it right, is what he said.
okay. And it was just easy. It's also for everyone easier to go with them, that they have all the specs, they have all the sizing, they have all everything.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to do RFQs and all that stuff to bid out for.
Yeah. Yeah. And we gave him like pretty concrete direction, I think.
Yeah, I did provide him, Roseanne and I met with him via Zoom. I don't even remember when that was, a couple weeks ago. It was like 9 years ago. And I did provide him with our notes from our last design subcommittee meeting about what we had talked about and what we envisioned in the spaces and colors and ideas. And I took the snapshots we had put in it, we had all brought to the table, and basically was like, this is the direction we're looking for. Like, scrap the other garbage you give us. This is
Yeah.
the route we're thinking. So develop based on this, and then we can continue to tweak as needed, but at least they have a better path to go down.
Was there a new area that they identified?
Well, so we don't have
The media center.
the media
anymore.
center anymore, but I don't know if there's space opposite the big main street that we already had targeted. I don't know if there's space above like robotics and coding. But I don't know if it's glass all the way, I don't think it's glass all the way up. So there may be space up there where we can do like some STEAM graphics
Yeah.
and bring the STEAM
Or in the
into Main
auditorium or
Street.
something. Was there something?
There's already wall space like by the by the auditorium and by the gym. So like the Main Street's kind of all covered. So we'll have to wait until we have a meeting with him and see if he has any other ideas about where we could take the square footage that had been marked for the media center and where else we could put that so we can still do some STEAM graphics
Yeah.
somewhere in the school.
I mean, I think the 4,000 is very reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
So I have no issue with it.
What's with the quarter at the end, on the end of the second floor? Maybe that was always in scope. I don't know what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, those are just the breakout spaces at the end of each hallway.
Yeah, but this one calls out the end of the quarter on the second floor.
The breakout room, the breakout
It
space.
says the breakout spaces on each academic wing, right? Those are like the hallways. But then it says the end of the corridor on the second floor. I don't know
That's
what.
still the breakout.
That's still the breakout space. I don't know why they.
Yeah.
Maybe to distinguish between the
Oh.
first floor and second floor.
Okay.
I mean, according to what he said before, it's based on a square footage allotment. So where we put stuff, we can move. So there's already square footage assigned to this piece. So
Which is bid and which you own.
right.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the proposal and how much was it? 4,000?
$4,800, so you're approving the additional service and authorizing finance to increase the purchase order.
What Jack just said. Is there a motion? Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
All opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
Jack, on the finances, I noticed the state reimburse is still. I don't know. Is that still the same amount? 117? Had there been an update in that since the last time we
No,
saw
this
the
is,
financial?
again, these are finances
monthly,
through the
yeah.
end of July.
Okay.
And we can only draw it from the state every other month at
Oh,
most
every
frequent.
other. Okay.
One go back, I guess. Question that Perkins had was the plaque that goes on the building. So he wants a list of names for the plaque. So obviously the building committee, the Board of Education, the administration. Who else would we want to put on the plaque? Probably the mayor. We need to figure that out. We have an Excel spreadsheet that we started listing all the names. They're going to be probably put in there alphabetically.
Assemble photos from the existing school plaques that we started.
Go look at what the existing school plaques have. There weren't many names on them.
Well, one, plaques are expensive, and, I mean, you wanna use a size 8 font for,
Yeah. I know, because we've got,
I forget what size he said. It was a lot bigger than I thought.
it's big, yeah. Though I don't remember the exact size for it. I'm trying to see where, did I put it under communications? Where did I put it? I don't remember where I put the file.
You want me to read it? I have it up.
Oh, you have what?
I have the spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got the building committee members, and then the Board of Ed. The current Board of Ed members, but we were talking too about doing the Board of Ed members that were on when the project started. Too, like whoever had left, including their name as well. Right, didn't we?
Yeah,
Because they were,
part of it.
they did ed specs and, I mean, they got a good portion of the ball rolling. Having the town seal on it, the mayors.
Yeah, both mayors, right?
All three
And
mayors.
all three mayors, because Alan was the one who initiated it, and then Steve and James is current. Anyone else?
List the architectural firm.
Yeah, we'll have the firm names on there. Arcadis, Newfield. Perkins.
I would take Ken's suggestion, look at what you've done at your other schools, WIS, included, and see, as a basic format, you can always diverge from tradition, but I think that would be a good starting point and something the design committee could chew on.
If you'd like, Rosanna, I'll get a picture of the existing school.
Oh, yeah. Unless you can just throw a picture.
I can get one of CMS tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great. I wonder if there's one of this school out there.
Yeah.
I'll just take a photo. and
Has
take
a
a-
name on it.
Really?
Vice chair, that's why I don't care. I would certainly suggest we put Lisa on.
Oh, yeah.
She's been a part of this from the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Stellar job for us.
Anyone else
adding-
have any suggestions?
I'm adding to the spreadsheet you started.
Yeah. Anyone else have like any other?
Oh,
Strong.
we'll need to do, Enza.
Yeah, administration, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anne and Enza. Anyone else have any strong feelings, one way or the other? Any? Okay.
So you're gonna do the middle school, right?
I'll do middle school, yeah.
Then I'll consider the
Yeah,
other two. Okay.
because I walk right by it. I know where he is, and I know where he is.
Good
Hopefully.
to have you.
Hopefully I'll remember. Yeah, hopefully you can read it, it's not all tarnished.
Right next to the dinosaur.
Worn away, yeah.
No.
All right. Does anyone have anything else that they want to bring up?
I do.
Yes.
Concerning the change order subcommittee, John Harriman has not been as available as once expected. We do have Ken on the change order committee. The way the structure is set up.
We need two people
We-
though, right?
I desire two people from the town, quote unquote town. Sometimes it's Ken and John, sometimes it's Ken and Rosanna. We have Claudio, who's got experience in this from past projects he's worked on. And he's been a resource to the change order committee, but he hasn't been dubbed an official
alternate.
member or alternate.
I thought he was.
He has not yet, but I'm hoping that you would consider naming him an alternate to either Ken or Rosanna if they are, or even John, as a town representative to the change order committee, if there is an absence, so we can carry on business.
I'm fine with that. Is there a motion?
Chair, I support a motion for that.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Congratulations. Another role for you, Claudio.
Everybody step back.
Just in case you didn't have enough work on
We'll
your
put your name on the back
lap.
twice.
Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone wants to bring up? All right. Meeting